Friends, today I'll discuss gender studies. I remember when I was getting my training as civil servant in Civil Service Academy, CSA, Lahore, Pakistan. So we made a committee, and the name of that committee was Men's Committee, Men Rights Committee, because we felt discriminated by faculty, by management, that they were like giving more importance to women, to ladies and girls, and not to men. So we just made a kind of a funny activity, and that was Men's Rights Committee. Gender studies is a very interesting discipline, and we have a lot of prejudices. My first posting was training officer in Chatral Area Development Project, and I was responsible for the human resource development. And also I worked with UNDP on development different projects. And some of the uh, projects which were sponsored by WHO, World Health Organization, were more focused on gender studies. So it is an interesting field, and we shouldn't have biases that when we talk of gender studies, so we are talking only of feminism, a feminist theory, and we are like giving undue rights to women. So this chauvinism or male dominance, this is a historic fact. You see in many religions and social systems, even in psychoanalysis of Sigmund Freud, women have always been discriminated, or they have been identified with special lenses, with special eyes. We look at women not as human beings. First time when I saw Osho theory and I read it, that the ideal human being is not man, is women. Because man is like rough, brutal in approach, while women goes in details. Women has more aesthetical touch, and women is better manager because she goes in minute details of things. And the beauty of this universe are, she's the symbol of beauty, and she has more sympathy. Being a mother, she has got like more sympathetic attitude as compared to men. So the women itself is not something bad. To be women or to be girl or to have the feminine gender, this there is nothing bad in it. There may be good things, not bad things. But this is a social construct. Society provides roles to male and female, men and women. So to discuss all these things, we have gender studies. How gender studies is different from women studies. The word gender also has a grammatical meaning, that for example we have feminine and masculine gender. We use he and she. So in many languages, like in Spanish language, even they, ellos, ellas, there is, when we say they, so for men we have one pronoun, and for women we have another pronoun. So some of the feminist moment people, they say that we should have neuter gender for both male and female. And even I was reading that in Judaism they have a neuter gender for God, that God is neither he nor she. So why we always use he for God? So this is radical feminism, that they don't want any kind of discrimination of women and men. For example, they don't want any specific word, pronoun, verb, or noun grammatical structure for women. So gender basically is taken from genre. Genre is taken meaning the word kind. Kind. What kind of? What is the category? What is the kind or the type of a person? So when a child is born in an hospital and the nurse shouts boy or girl, so from there the sexuality of the human being born is defined. So one is biological sex. In biology, we have 5 reasons to call someone man, woman, girl, boy. That is the anatomy, the external genitals, and hormones, which is an endocrine system that women and men they have different hormones, and gonads, male or female gametes, egg or sperm. So these are the biological differences between men and women. So this is now a kind of controversy that whether biology affects your performance. Because in feminism there is a theory which is the theory of performance or performative, that this biology doesn't affect your functions of your body, your physiology, or your morphology. What kind of gonad you have, what kind of hormones you have, or what are your external genitals, or your reproductive system. So it does not affect your performance. And as a comment, I will post one short video of my interview with a Canadian woman, and she is a constructor, a builder, working with men, and she's like in high buildings, and she does everything. So I asked her how she is performing the work like a builder, constructor. So she told me that this is all, I love it, I like it, I'm happy. And this is what the meaning of life, what the people, liberated myself from such stereotyped notions that construction or building is only men's work. Women cannot perform that. So science, biology, psychology, philosophy, all these are now discussing these things, that whether biology affects your performance as male or female or not. So I have seen even truck drivers, women, they are like driving trucks. They are doing everything. They are body builders. They go to gymnasium, and they do all those things what men were traditionally doing. So what is this? This is because if you, for example, two children are born in a forest, in a jungle, woods, and they have not been told that they are men or women, and they are nurtured. The food, nutrition is given to them in a normal way, and they are not identified that you are a girl or boy. So their performance will be the same. So this gender is social construct. So in women's studies, we just study feminism, the women rights. Women is a gender, and equality of men and women. That is in women studies. Women study is part of gender studies. Women is one part of gender studies. The other part is men studies, because there are like feminism, there are also moments which are called menism or masculinism or such names, that men rights. So in gender studies, we study women, we study men, and we study one third thing, and that is called queer. You might have heard the initialism, the acronym, not the acronym, but in the abbreviations, LGBT. So LGBT, that is lesbian, gay, LGBT, bisexual, and transsexual. And then they also include with that another term, that is Q. Q is questioned or queer. Some people, they are not sure that I am male or I am female. So this is called queer. They are questioning their gender, that what role the society has given me this role, but I am not satisfied. Because some men, they say I'm man, and women say I'm woman. They are clear, 100%. But 15% of people, they are not sure of their masculinity or femininity. They are feminine or they are masculine. So this is called queer, strange. They are not clear. And this is also called intersex, in between. And in some societies like India and Pakistan, they have transgenders or transsexual. So they like hijra, what we call hijra. So that is a specific category. That is gender. That is also like biological, that their sexual parts or genitalia are not developed. For example, a hijra, when is born, so eunuch or hermaphrodite, that which has both, male and female biological sexual characteristics. So when he or he is born, so people call him boy. Later on, he discovers that I am not boy, I'm not a complete boy, I don't have. And some people, they differentiate between transgender and transsexual. Transsexual are those people that they go to doctors and they do their surgery, and they like remove some parts to become either men or women, or in between these two. So that is transsexual. And then transgender, when they don't identify themselves to be either male or female. So these are very interesting things, and these are human beings. All these are human beings. There is also like one tribe, I think there are some more than 30-40 million people they follow in Nigeria and that part of the Africa. They are called Yoruba. So Yoruba people, there is no male and female. All of them are equal. Even I have seen personally in many Pashtun areas, in a lot of mountainous areas, hilly areas, where male and female, they are working together. And even sometimes there is an extreme form that women, they are doing more physical work than men. Men is just like sitting and enjoying life, and women does farming, agricultural activities, and she does everything. So, we have different societal patterns like patriarchy and matriarchy, that who is the head of the that society, male or female. So even there are matriarchal societies where women, that is more powerful than men. So all, and there is, in some red Indians, they have a theory which is called two spirits. So two spirits, that one, there are, people who can have both male and female characteristics. So as we see, like for gender, gender is masculinity and femininity. How feminine and how masculine a person is or her, and what society or culture give the role. So some in constructionism or structuralism, in some philosophies, they don't approve, they don't agree with this binary divisions, male or female. This is just human construct, social construct. This is just in our mind that we say this is male or this is female. In many societies, those were not identified. And it is said that even in history, the people were born and they were not identified as male or female. They were just human beings. They were just equal. So equality of male and female is again a very interesting subject. And some people say we don't want that men become women and women become men. No, but equity. Equity means that they should have equal rights, equal opportunities. There should not be like a men specific jobs or female women specific jobs, or men can do and women can do. Why women is more important in gender studies Even nowadays, as I told, queer studies like the third gender, maybe there are fourth gender, fifth gender. There are different, categories that people identify, and even there are categories like men who are more, they have effeminacy, they are more feminine, and women they are more masculine, and men who are more masculine and less feminine. So this is, there are so many categories possible in the world. And now, because of the awareness and education, the traditional stereotyped, constructed structures in our minds, these have been challenged. So feminism is not a bad movement. Even it gives advantage and benefits to men, because sometimes in traditional societies only one man is sponsoring and providing livelihood to 10, 15 family members, and women they are just at home. But women, that is 50% of our human resources. If we consider women to be equally human beings, so they can perform the same economic, financial, and other productive activities, and they can help men. So feminism is not against men, it is in the favor of men. This is a very positive approach, that women must take charge of their own responsibilities. They should not become parasites or dependent totally on men. So feminism is not a bad business. Sometimes she's a feminist. This is why we have another theory which is called pro-feminism, that I am in the favor of feminism, but I am not a feminist. Because people, men, the chauvinist, the male dominant society, and you see in religion, even in politics, in, for example, UK, we have one Margaret Thatcher. We don't have like so many female prime ministers. Pakistan is even better, that we had like three times the women prime minister. In Bangladesh, there are women prime ministers. So in politics, even in philosophy, even in religion, we don't have any female prophet. So all the religions, they also specify women. Spiritually, both men and women, they are the same, because they have the same soul. Soul is not identified as male or female. But religions, they have special dress codes for women, and there are special, I know, maybe this is a kind of research. We have to see Quran as a holy book. When Quran says that two women are equal to one man in inheritance and evidence, so this has to be done research, whether it is in a particular context, that in that society whether women were not educated, so then women needed another woman to be in a witness in a law. Even legal discrimination of in modern times, the women, in a legal court, they are identified as male and female, and for female there is a different kind of legal framework. So even in Marxism, like socialist theory or feminism, that Marx said that we must liberate. Capitalism is only for men, and communism or socialism will liberate women, and they will be given equal status. So this is why I have been to some communist countries like Cuba, and their women, they are performing the same jobs as men, even in fields and sugarcane and other agricultural land and farms. Women are performing the same jobs as men. They don't differentiate that who is man and who is women. So these are interesting times of gender studies in politics, philosophy, religion, even psychology, as I said, psychoanalysis. In psychoanalysis, the psychoanalytical theory of men, that how, for example, a child is told that you are male or female, and then the childhood memories, because psychoanalysis is basically dividing your mind, conscious, unconscious, and subconscious or preconscious. So your reality is made when you were child. At the childhood time, you have been told, do this thing because you are a girl and you are a boy. So this boy and girl things are fixed in our mind. And then this psychoanalysis, this is very difficult to tell women that you can do the same. As even many women, they are against the women rights. They have fear that no, we are okay in our own environment, restricted environment. In Pashtun society, for example, there are 70 million Pashtuns and 35. If you start from Atak and you go to Chetral and Dir and Swat, you will not see a single woman shopkeeper or driver or doing any economic or financial activity. And although they are human beings, they are there is this theory is now challenged that because of hormones or because of the biological, physiological or morphological anatomy of the women is different from men, so women cannot perform those works which men can perform. الرجال قوامون على النساء. So I have read another kind of interpretation that it doesn't mean that there is a difference because God says that men and women were born equal, and spiritually if they have the same punishment or the same reward, so how they can be differentiated. So these are challenging, interesting topics. We have to understand that women's studies are not women's studies is part of the gender studies. Gender studies, we study women's studies, we study men studies, and as well as queer, third gender, maybe fourth gender, LGBT and intersex, because some people sex that is not defined. Some people they are more male, less they are more masculine and less. So as we study sexuality, that is more in biology, but gender, that is more in language, grammar, sociology, philosophy, psychology, social sciences, anthropology. In these sciences we study gender. Gender is a broader term as compared to sex. Sex, that is just male or female, or maybe we have bisexual people, or they have different orientation, because one is your identity. You identify yourself to be male or female, then this is inside in your mind, in your personality, inside. Then you say sexual orientation, that your orientation that is towards more women, or if you are a man, so you like sexually more women or you like more men. If you like more men, so then you are a gay, and if you like more women, so you are heterosexual. And if the same is for women, lesbian. So all this is sexual orientation. And some people are bisexual, they go for both. So this thing is more sexual or psychological, and that is more biological. But gender, that is a role that you play in society, being male or female. So gender studies struggles equality of opportunities, that both male and female should have the same opportunities, and they should perform similar jobs. And if you are not told that you are a woman, you can't do it, and this is not kept in your mind, and you are liberated from this stereotype, traditional cliches, male and female, so then you can perform a lot of things. This discussion is basically intellectual, philosophical, based on the CSS gender studies syllabus, that provides you an opportunity to think over so many things, that we can liberate our mind of those stereotyped and traditional concepts of male and female role in our society, which we call gender. Basically, the human capabilities for both men and women, they are the same. Equity. You cannot make feminism or gender study doesn't mean that you make from women men and from men women. No, that you can't. That is biological. That there are differences. Even radical feminism, they challenge this thing, that the sexual genitalia of male and female, there is a difference of category, degree. Okay, that is not anything like male have one organ and female another. So there is, because of these differences, their role in society or jobs opportunities should be differentiated. That is just, some people are like, they give example that some people they are have more height and others have less height. Some people have long fingers, some people have short fingers. Some people are black, some people are white. So that is the difference in degree. There is nothing to do with your performance of your biology. Biology has nothing to do with your activities being a human being. So this is, a very interesting thing, challenging. Make your minds open to these things. Don't have biases or prejudices that no, 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 I can't think over it, and this is something against my religion or against my theology or against my doctrines or beliefs. No, these things are now scientific, and you cannot challenge science, because science, that is more, data or knowledge, systematic knowledge, which is based on facts and which can be verified and by observation and experiment. So you cannot challenge science. You cannot challenge. You can reinterpret your religious or other ideas, because these things change with society. There was a time, even in Saudi Arabia, today women cannot drive. Political rights of women, suffrage, voting. There was recently women got the right to vote. So what is this? The things are changing. This is not the same. Some people like make false statement that women cannot become good manager or cannot become ruler of a state. But there were women, they have performed very, very well, better than men. And this is in the right of the, for the, this is beneficial for men, that they should let the women to perform all the duties, and they should not be stigmatized, stigma on their face that you are women, so you can't do this thing. Let us, think over it in an objective way, objectivity, not the social constructs that we have a thing in our mind, fixed thing, and we can't change it. So we will continue this discussion. This is just introduction to gender studies. I have a lot of experience on working on gender studies, and I will be sharing my experiences as well as philosophical, psychological, sociological, anthropological theories of gender studies. It is a very, very interesting field. Take interest in it and try to understand the difference between men and women and the third gender, and how these things are involved in our society and in our performance as human beings. See you soon. Thank you.